What's up guys, Tyno, welcome back to a brand new video, and this will be different from any other video I've done in the past. This will basically be me talking about the Terminator franchise, and I've rewatched all the movies. I watched T1 all the way to Genesis, then I watched T1 and T2 and then Dark Fate, so I can watch both timelines. So in this video I will basically be telling you the things I really like about all the movies. So this will be Terminator Retrospective. So as always, let's get into it. So starting off with the first one that started it all, in 1984, The Terminator. So what can I say about this movie? I mean, this one is one of the greatest sci-fi films of all time. I mean, this one to me, it really means a lot to me because, I mean, this is the first movie where we see Arnold become like a different character or villain, which is very interesting. I mean, just the idea of someone that looks like a man but it's a machine underneath is very interesting. And the chemistry between all the actors is just phenomenal. I mean, Michael Biehn as Kyle and Sarah Lynn Hamilton is just pretty cool. I mean, just Arnold as a Terminator, you don't know he's a machine underneath, but just the things he does is just very interesting. I mean, him as a machine is just, I don't know, it's very hard to explain because you don't know he's a machine underneath, obviously, because of the human tissue, which is very interesting because they both came from the future to try to find Sarah, right? One to kill her and then one to protect her. So I find that very interesting. The shape of the future, who Sarah's supposed to fall in love with someone. Obviously, it's Kyle. She doesn't know it yet. And then Kyle ends up being the father of John, which he doesn't know when he sends him back. So I thought it's very interesting. So overall, I give this one a 10 out of 10. Then next one, however, T2 Judgment Day. This one's my favorite out of all the Terminator movies. Because this one, it really had a huge impact on me because here you have T-800, Terminator who's sent back to protect John, and he basically learns the value of human life. Because John teaches him these things, not to kill, stuff like that. So I really like that. And then, of course, the chemistry between him and John is just phenomenal. Of course, Sarah, who lares against it at first, but then she gets with the program and she's like, okay, I'll basically work with this guy, work with this machine to protect my son. So I thought that was really interesting. Chemistry, everything about this movie is just phenomenal. Acting and Robert Patrick as T-1000, just very cool. So obviously I give this one 10 out of 10. Then here's where it gets fuzzy for me. Here's Terminator 3, Resin Machines. To me, this one, it was okay. I don't know. Arnold in this one, he was back as Terminator T-850, different. They can do psychological things. So I thought that was interesting. And TX, I thought she was very interesting as Terminator. And next I thought he was an interesting choice for John. He basically becomes leader of the resistance at the very end, his destiny. But I thought it was very interesting to see early Terminators like T1s and stuff like that. But other than that, I thought this movie was okay, so I give this one a 7 out of 10. Then here we have Terminator Salvation. This one I thought was kind of okay too, because the only thing interesting about it to me was it was set in the future during the war. So it was pretty cool. We got to see different types of Terminators, like one T-800, a few at the factory where they get made. Very interesting. Then T-600s, then maybe T-700s if I'm correct, and then the big ship, then the motorcycles, and then the giant one that takes all the people and put them on the transport, very interesting. And Christian Bale as John Connor, I thought he kind of nailed the role to me, even though it was only one film. I thought it was interesting as a role, but to be honest, I'll have to give this one an 8 out of 10 to me. Then here we have Terminator Genesis. To me, this one has a lot of mixed reviews, but to me, I really love this film. I don't know why, I really love this film. Just the fact that it's like a what if type thing, because it basically reset the whole timeline. Because I mean, someone sent back the T-800 to protect Sarah in 1973 or 1974, one of the two. I just find that very interesting, and that's the thing that they don't tell us. I just wonder who sent him back, which they don't tell us, which they were supposed to tell us in the next one, which they didn't get to because they scrapped the plans for that to do Dark Fate. But I thought it was very interesting. It was basically like a one-off type thing, which is very interesting, because here you have a machine who basically sent back to protect and raise Sarah, which is very interesting. He raised her, and in 1984, instead of her being a damsel in distress like she was in the first one, she's a total badass, which is very interesting. She knows what to do, stuff like that. Call is sent back, and everything's different, and then it gets sent 2017, and then John is the bad guy. He gets turned into a Terminator, basically, and Jason Clarke as John Connor, I thought he was okay. I got what they were going for with the villain type thing, but I don't know. I thought he was okay, but other than that, I really like this movie. I really do love it. So I give this one an 8 out of 10. Then here we get to the final film, very controversial this one. Terminator Dark Fate. To me, even though what they did to John Connor in the very beginning when they killed him off, to me, it really captured the essence of the first two. It really did, because in this one, to me, you see two sides of Sarah. You see the one that's experienced, and then you see the young one, which is basically Danny in this one, who's basically like the new John Connor, basically. Then you have Grace, who's the protector, gets sent back to protect her, and then you got Sarah, who's been around the block, obviously, who she knows what to do. She knows what to do with Terminators, destroy them, stuff like that. And of course, Arnold doesn't come until like the very last hour, which is very interesting because he basically learns the value of human life after what he does to John by getting with this woman and basically fathers her son, basically. So that's very interesting. But overall, I have to give this one an 8 out of 10. So that's all for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. See you guys in the next video. Later, guys. I'll be back.